Already live. How does it get better? Surprise! I think we are live. Let me check. Yes. Surprise. So, yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And today I'm your host, Sonali Singh from Be the Change team. And today I'm going to host Be the Change talk show. And today our host is a guest. Be the Change, I would like to introduce you to what Be the Change talk show is about. Be the Change talk show is an invitation for everybody who is actually being the change in the world for who they are. And we invite people from all the areas of the world, and we invite them to share their story of change. And while we are inviting so many amazing people, we thought, why not invite our beautiful, lovely host, which is the poster girl of Be the Change, who is the invitation of the motto of Be the Change, which is never give in, never give up, never quit. And yes, so I would like you to invite Aradhana Tiwari to the show. And let me Aradhana Tiwari is a consciousness facilitator. She has worked over 20 years in international business marketing and media. She's an empowering coach, a recognized Access Consciousness Facilitator. She shares her gifts with the world through programs like Being You, Talk to the Entities, and she invites people to celebrate new life every day and step up from all issues relating to body, sex, money, relationships, and business. And I have been so lucky to invite her today to this show and what this show is about. And so I would like to now welcome Aradhana Tiwari to come on screen.
Hello.
Yay! You're looking amazing. And how did I get so lucky to talk to you today? You are muted.
Like, how did I get so lucky to be invited here? I'm so proud that I
I'm
come in
jumping.
that list to be invited here. Thank you, Sonali. Gosh. I'm
How
seriously.
can we not? How can we not? Like you have founded Be the Change, and you have been the inspiration of being the change, really being the consciousness itself, really being the walking, talking magic of you. And I'm extremely grateful for you to be that invitation and to actually choose to come today. And because we know that how much you do not like to get introduced like this, but how much we like to push you into this zone.
You
And how
break all my barriers, and you're like literally asking me to be it's like. But then I'm like, okay,
much,
one thing in my head is receive.
yeah.
You. Thank you for inviting. Thank you for literally pushing me, all of you, the whole team, pushing me to be here. And for me also to like, and I was like, okay, ready. I do get it. Let's just go. Let's just play. That can be an invitation for anybody and everybody to actually choose more of them who they are. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for creating this talk show where like these stories are inviting so many people in the world to be the change. And because you have been that source of change, we would like to know more about you. And you are the first person who asked me, what do you know? And you have been the one who always told people that, these are the possibilities. And then what do you know beyond this? So now I'd like to know, like, how was you when did it all started? Like when this all began? How was you like a kid?
Yeah, so as a kid, I've always been Sonali as a kid also in my own world, happy, you know, I don't think I had many friends, but I had many friends. But then I was very happy in my world all the time. I never got bored. I was like, and I actually kind of at times look into my world that who was I? But then I was always very about everybody should be happy around. Should be joyful. For me, I never understood why people are crying, why they're fighting, why do they have to do all this, and what, and any my I remember my mom doing saying anything around anybody, and I would not like that. Actually, why is she saying anything bad about anybody? I mean, everybody is good. So, and I only believed in while growing, as I've spoken enough times on my talk shows, it's like, oh sorry, the instas, that how I've always been following the Sikh religion guru, Guru Nanak ji. So he's been kind of my friend. I never followed him as a guru, but I followed him as my friend because his stories was what I grown up with my granddad. So I was a quite a good girl, I might say, in the school. As my mom always said, that if she showed her eye, if she blinked her eye, I knew what she said. So I always understood the energy. If she sees up, and she would give that example to the whole world that this girl does not touch anything unless she's like, she'll look at me, and she has to see the sign of my eye to do anything. So I would not move a bit if unless she does not gives me signal. So I was a pretty disciplined girl, and then I was into a lot of sports, pure sports girl, and but I always felt that
Really? You were into sports?
yeah, I was a pure sports girl. I was shot put player and a basketball player state level, and yeah, so I've been a total outdoor person. I loved life all the time, and but I always wondered why don't people make me friends? And I guess I was lost in my world. Then I had this whole thing of making friends, and I was okay without friends or with friends. But I wonder who I was, but I was just must. I know that. So that is what it is. And then probably always wondered, I always wanted to travel the world. I
Oh,
asked
you
the, yeah. So I would ask everybody who, like the astrologers or some people coming home, I would ask them, I would show my hand. Can you see my hand? What kind of a husband would I get? Or what kind of a life would I have? Can I get one plane which will take me around the world? I want to see the whole world. And I would imagine, how would be a London, how would be any other different country, and how would the people be, how do they talk, and how did God create it, what kind of plants have they created there. I want to go and I want to see, and things never show up the way you're thinking they'll show up. So I guess I did access to see the world. I would say.
I
Because I was traveling with my husband, though. I mean, of course, I used to travel a lot along with him, but that much travel wasn't enough for me. So I required more travel, and then I chose Access. And I saw Dane traveling every day, Gary traveling every day in different countries, and I'll have that. Can I have that? That's what I was looking from my childhood. One day in one city, the other day in another city. Mine was breakfast in London, lunch in Paris, and then dinner in New York. And I kind of once did it, like almost. So now I'm like literally looking for that private jet to come up and take me, and I'll do that before I die for sure.
Ravana, how did you find your husband?
How did I find? Oh, that's a very very fine story. That's like I always grew up with. I was a girl who had no separation between men and women, and I somehow kind of related more with men.
You were bisexual?
I'm everything. I'm an infinite. Well, I had nothing around sex as well. So yeah, you can say that probably I was and I am. And I had no inhibitions of like, if I touch a man or a woman, it's fine with me. So, but then it was like, how I'm growing up, I had friends as boys, but you call them boyfriends or you call whatever you want to call them. But I was more interested because I thought girls always kachar kachar they gossip, and I hate gossip. I used to hate gossip, and I could understand. I loved more men, so I was around men more. So my mom thought that I'm a nasty girl that who's always around guys, and hope I'll get married to one man and stick to one man. Probably. But I never understood that. But why? But I mean, men would always fall for me, and And I got into wrongness of that probably men only require copulation from me. Am I giving wrong signals? Because my grandmom used to say, you laugh too much, and ladki hasi to fasi in India, how we say. If the girl smiles, you're done. She's like, she's giving the signal. So I was like, I thought don't smile also. Then also it's like, but I could not smile. So and be. So I had no. So it was like I was just growing up. So I came studying, and I was studying in Delhi, and then I found my husband there. And you imagine my husband was my roomie's boyfriend.
Wow.
Funny.
Wow.
I had no intentions of separating them, but probably they separated on their own. And and my mother was looking for guys before I get married, or say that mom, I want to get married to this boyfriend of mine, because she liked none. And she did like my husband. She met once, and that time he was a boyfriend to my roommate. And she did offer. I was like, why don't my girls get these kind of guys? I said, what do you mean, guy? He's my roommate's boyfriend. She said, yeah, I'm just saying you should get this kind of a guy. And she fell in love. I think my mom fell in love with my husband and me.
And you created.
So,
Okay, ये चाहिए आ जाएगा.
and I'm like, all right, if this is what's required, let's see what else is possible. And I've always been easy. Whatever I asked, I got it. It was like my mom told me, so okay, right. Haath rak diya, bas done. So it's like that. And then one fine day, I kind of create that he proposes me because, like, you know, and we didn't have love marriage, but we both knew each other very well, because I was the mediator between both. And probably he and my mom was showing me guys who were like fat, ugly, and who were willing to get married to me because they were coming from certain families. And I'm like, before she get married to me, a fat, ugly guy, I'd rather say yes to him. At least I know this guy. I had no inhibitions. He's making out or he's with his girlfriend. If they're not going together, and if she's no more a girlfriend and he wants to get married, she has going around with somebody. I said, okay, sure, let's get married. They said yes, and then everybody's projections came on me. This girl must have been double timing this girl, blah 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 blah.
What a bitch.
What a bitch she is. And I got so scared, and I'm like, shit, I don't do that. And I kept asking, but then that's how it just happened. He just proposed, and I just like said yes. And that's a long story of how I said yes. And but I guess I said yes, and that's how I found him. So simple to find a husband, right?
Yeah, I'm like, if you drop all your judgments like that, and you're willing to receive the compliments, being bitch and everything, and whatever required, if you're willing to have that, it can be so easy.
I think I've always loved life very easy. I never knew, like, I had I mean, my mom said, now this age, you have to get married. Okay, I have to get married. Now, okay, you get married after, and I always knew growing up in a village, after marriage, should have a kid. I immediately had a kid. And I was like, okay, that's also done.
ये बताओ मैं बना रही I'm creating. You just ask and I'll create.
Yeah. So it's like, anybody says anything, "Acha, this is how it has to be. Okay, let's just do it." I think that's who I've been all through.
And I'm sure that's how you created Be the Change.
Yeah. So Be the Change has a thing around it, is because I thought I've grown up in a village. I don't know how good English. And I'm a very, very simple girl.
Okay, none of this is true anymore.
And I remember my husband introducing to my mom-in-law as a girl from the village, and she's like, "Where the hell is she from the village?" But yeah, but I've changed a lot over the years, definitely. But yeah, so it's like, so I had that. I thought I'm not intelligent, because my sister's super intelligent. She's amazing. She's pretty. She's like, I always thought I'm not pretty girl. My sister's only pretty. My mom is only pretty. I'm not intelligent. I've never got good marks. So I'm not intelligent girl. So, and for me, for me to understand very complicated vocabulary, I get the sense if anybody else is speaking, but if I have to speak up, I can't go into look into vocabularies and go find big words for it. I would talk very simple English. So that is when I'm like, I cannot understand these complicated questions. So I will question myself very simply. Then one day I thought,
Understand.
yeah, understand, no funny. And I'm like, what simple questions can I ask?
Wow.
Then I started playing with it. Then somehow it just showed up in my world. I'm sure there might be people like me and for me, it is like, if you give me too much, I can't take it. if you put too much of food, I will not eat. If you put too much of people used to study a lot in front of me, I never used to study. My sister used to study 24/7. I was like, I'm done. I don't want to study. If anybody is eating a lot of chicken, I can't eat chicken. So I left a lot of stuff in my life because people were overdoing it. So I was like, give me one sentence and I'll do it. So I think I was that simple. So I thought, if so much material to read the whole day, I'll go bonkers. I don't want to do that. So I said, okay, I'll do this one question every day and play with that simple thing the whole day. Then I just thought, okay, let me form a group and, let's see if some people like me might like to join it and be the change. And I was like, I am the change. Only if I change can I change things around me. That was what I got out of Access. And that is what I always knew when I was growing. I wanted somebody to ask me, what do I know? And I was like, only you can change. You can't change anybody else. So when I got the Be the Change, and that's how I've like started a group called Be the Change. And I started posting questions. And people, I remember initially when they joined in, and they're like, anything they would ask, because we're so used to asking like a guru that, okay, this is happening. So what should I do? And I'm like, what do you know? And I think initially people really got bugged with me that what is this kind of a facilitator she is? What kind of a group has she formed? She doesn't give any answers. She's not good. Let's go to other people's group. They give answers. And I'm like, I'm okay to lose anyway, what I have to gain here or lose here. So I'm okay to be it, but I'll do what I choose to do and be what I choose to be. And I kept going. And I think over the years, it formed its own entity. And now it's almost, I think, 4 or 5 years that it has its own entity.
So when you say all that, that when your sister was studying around and, you were like, okay, I'm done, I've studied enough.
Yeah.
And when people were going to other facilitators and you knew that, no, okay, I'm not getting it. Or so now at the time of today, we are so much into, being the best. We are so much into achieving something,
Yeah.
and we are so much into proving something that this is what I've gone. And for that people are actually preparing real hard for 5 years or 6 years to crack one exam or to become something. So what do you want to say about that, and did it not come to you ever?
So for me, for that, my gratitude goes to my sister. So, and because she took the cake anyways for studying too much, being more prettier woman and everything. So I didn't have any competition. So I had already given on it. I was like, I am what I am, and this is who I be. Even if I find a one boy, two boys, three boys, and know my boys or any friend or not friend, it's okay because this is who I be. So I think I had long back when I was growing had given up the competition because for me there was no competition. I was beaten because she's studying more, so I was pretty used to it. So I was like, it's okay. This is who I be. So I think I was very relaxed in my own skin, and I knew that, and I was okay for people to be more intelligent than me. So I never had that competition. Uh,
How can you be okay with people being more intelligent and more rich?
how just I can just because I can, and that's how I was being. And I'm like, okay, if they are they, I am who I be. And I remember when I was growing up, it was so funny, Sonali, that I would stand in front of the mirror, and I was very dark because I used to play basketball all the time. I was a complete athlete as well, so I was all the time in the sun and dark skin, and I would stand in front of the mirror and says, "One day who'll get married to you, na will be a lucky man. Don't worry. If I'm not pretty, it's okay, but that man will be happy. I'll make sure, and there will be a guy who'll choose me
That
one.
man will be pretty.
Then I'll be pretty. Like kuch hota hai." I knew it. Just knew it. So
So you were the Tajul of kuch hota hai, huh?
yeah, I think that's when I always said when I saw that movie, I said, "Oh, that's so replica of me." Like no, I was happy in my skin. I didn't find because I had been through that enough. So I was like, and I had fought with that whole energy, felt, good, bad. And I think that was only once that incident happened when I was very growing. And I think I must be around fifth standard or somewhere. And my uncle's wedding and my sister was wearing her very Christian Dior kind of a, my mom got a white maxi done for her, whatever. And she gave me a brown dress. And everybody's, how pretty is she? How pretty? And I kept looking like this. I said, मुझे तो कोई भी pretty नहीं कह रहा है. I said, I'm not pretty. बस फिर छोड़ यार, कोई नहीं है तो नहीं है. मैं ऐसी tomboy सी ठीक हूँ. So I guess thanks to my all this energies, they didn't even know it, but I was sensing it. And you know how I saw my grandmom, nani, and all giving compliments to my sister, and then and everybody used to say this girl is too naive, but थोड़ी सी dark है, हो जाएगी ठीक. And you know how the imprinting was on you. I was like, okay, यार मैं ठीक ही नहीं हो सकती, it's fine. And I kind of got an allowance of who I was, and I loved myself. I said, ठीक है यार मैं जैसी भी हूँ अपनी favorite हूँ, छोड़. If nobody loves you, I love you.
And that's so much the be the change energy is about, that you do not have to be anybody else or anything else, and
Right.
you have to be just you, and be that you is itself a change.
It gifted me so much.
Yes, and there's just so much a space of allowance in your world. We're not fighting to be fair or dark,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong and right about anything. You're allowing them to judge being dark and judge being whatever.
Yeah. So I'm really, really grateful to all those energies while growing up. I think I was smart enough, and I always said I don't want money. I want somebody who just loves me from 9 to 5, who goes to job and comes and loves me. And then I find a businessman. And I was like, because my mom said yes, I said I have to say yes.
What would it take for us to have that gratitude for the time of
Yes.
COVID?
Everything, I always believe there's nothing wrong ever in your life. Everything is a gift, and everything shows up as a gift. And that's why in all my classes, all my workshops, everywhere, I keep repeating, guys, don't make anything wrong. In the longer run, you will be actually looking back and saying, and I had this thing with me that every moment should be so joyful that even if I have to die, I'll happily go. And I remember that time I didn't know entity clearing. So in the plane, if my plane would go up, and I'm like, okay, thank you, bye bye everyone. See you, love you, I loved you, and I had a great time. I didn't have any regrets that why the hell am I dying? It's okay, Finna. I lived every day. So kind of, I think I was pretty aware then too, but then I lost it after a while when I got married, because marriage was my big distractor. Then it falling in love and blah blah blah. So that
I
is
would
what.
like to know more about that. Like, how was your relationship? How was that falling in love? And
So we were never in love with each other. We like understood each other. Probably my husband said that he kind of always uh, was patawing me, but I wonder where we were. Of course, he proposed me, so he did. Probably, I'm sure. But I was being that nice, loyal girl, which doesn't have to be. And but still, I was open. I was a
ladies
very
and gentlemen, and today, yes,
so
go
sorry.
on.
So then, yeah, I think we kind of initially, I thought my husband got married to me in rebound because he didn't get married to his girl. And, you know, his girlfriend was also very, very pretty. She is very pretty still. So thanks to her. And she was a very good friend of mine. I loved her. And then it was just gently, you know, I always had this complex of not looking good anyways. So I was like, shit, he got married to me and now he left that such a pretty girl. Or they both left each other and probably he might be missing her more than he's leaving me. So I never could receive that, that such a handsome man got married to me. For me, he was very, very handsome. But for me, I thought he was looked like a kiddo. So I always thought I was very big because I was the eldest daughter. So I kind of we enjoyed. He always took care of me very well. But over the years, I think the love grew between among both of us, and we kind of became so fond of. And I would tell him that my Raj will also come one day, and hope you are not the one. And he's like, yeah, yeah, go find one.
Really? Tell that to your husband that my Raj will come one day.
I think you're not the one. And I said, sometimes I feel it's you. But no, वो बात नहीं आती अंदर से, वो बात नहीं आती अंदर. But I would tell him everything. For me, there was one thing that if I'm sharing a bed, if I'm sharing a house, I'm living with somebody, I cannot lie. I'm not wrong about what I'm doing and being. If I can't share, then I don't want to be on the bed. Then I don't want to be sharing the same house. So I was very clear to him. I mean, you tell me or not tell me, I'll tell you everything. And I used to tell him everything. I tell the world anyways, but I used to tell him everything. And I
You're
know.
an open book. I guess you tell everything to everybody. There's nothing to hide.
Yeah, I mean, if you're hiding, Sonali, I just feel that you're already ashamed of you. You're already wronging it. And I don't think I'm wrong anything about myself. I'm my favorite, as I told you.
Yeah, nothing to do.
Why would I do it if I don't like it? I did it because I liked it and I wanted to venture out in it. To the extent that, you know, my friends used to say, He's dying already. You'll make him die by telling you have a boyfriend or you're looking and you're flirting. I told him I have a crush on this guy. God, I would tell him everything. I tell the world, so why should I hide? So my son knows, my husband knows, he used to know everything about me.
I guess that's why, like, whenever we are in front of you, our whole world start melting because this space is so much non-judgmental. So when you are telling everything, we can also tell you everything because we know that there's nothing that we can feel wrong about.
Yeah, I know. I know people who come to get facilitated. They're like, "What happens? This truth I never said to anybody, but I just sat down and I said everything to you." And I said, "I have no point of view." that is that is who I be because I am like nobody's ever wrong. I mean, for me, and nothing has ever been wrong. Even if you go kill anybody, if you rape, I mean, that's
I
their
was
choice.
going to ask that.
Yeah,
Even if I go and kill and
yeah. For me,
beat.
nothing has ever been wrong. So, Anita just laughing. I think I was reading them.
Yeah,
I'm
I was reading that in this story, your husband is a Cinderella.
I love that compliment. I take that as a
You are Cinderella.
compliment.
Guys,
So
you can ask your questions in comments.
yeah, so I just love life, Sonali. Somehow, I just love life, and that's what I was talking in the class today. That how I always wanted, and now also I choose that life is beautiful. Why do we have to not like enjoy it? And you can be hurt. You have to work hard. You have to. That's what's been always taught. But I like no. Life is easy. Life
And
is easy and simple.
so when your life was so abundant, so easy, so simple, you had everything. You had money, you had sex, you had relationship. Then what actually, moved you to access consciousness, choosing access consciousness?
Curiosity. That was curiosity. So everybody used to say life can't be just a bed of roses. And I never bought that, but I know where I bought it once. And then I would go to Good Hanich say, यार they were saying कि वो लाइफ इतना इजी नहीं होता कुछ खराब तो नहीं होता मेरी लाइफ में ना पक्का लाइफ खराब क्या होती है मुझे पता ही नहीं मैंने कभी देखा ही नहीं I've never seen a wrong
Something.
I don't know what life is like which is like because I've always grown up I had no idea I'm like but I don't know what that life looks like and that's when see how easy it is for me to create anything so I just created that too in my life so I created the crash of the whole mug also into my life very easily the crap it's like okay you're asking for what looks like here it is but actually for me I was very curious I always thought that I was having luxury holidays I was just partying I was happy in my own world yet everybody would say to me there is something in your eyes that you always lost I didn't get what they meant, but I really didn't get. It. And I would start thinking, really? But I'm really happy. Maybe probably I was too happy that everybody thought that no, this much happiness is not allowed. So I've somewhere bought that story, and then I actually on just got into access from the curiosity because always was very inquisitive about life. Who said these words? Why should I say these words? What does this word mean? Why is it bad? Who gave the word bad? Who gave the wrong? So I was very curious to know life. So, and I just picked the word consciousness in class third standard, and where I probably was talking about, my teacher was talking about the living things, non living things, and all that. And I just lost it somewhere there that I don't know enough because for me, there was no separation in anything between the weathers, between the living, non living things. So I was always like, yeah. So I just like, I didn't get that. How can anybody be bad? I never had that idea. How can anybody be bad? So I think I lost myself somewhere there. And then I was lost in my own world. I think that's when I got it after Access. So then I was asking that, okay, am I just here to party, holiday? Because everybody would ask me, what is your purpose of life? I said, to have fun. And my sister said, no, life is not only about party. And people would say, no, party nahi hoti hai. You have to be serious in life. I said, but what is it there to be serious? And having said that, then I did have a lot of issues with when I was having my son, and But for me, Sonali, like right. I mean, now coming to this point of my life, also, I've been through enough according to this reality, which I have been, and I acknowledge it. But that also doesn't never felt me too tough. I sailed through that also with total ease. Like, I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's everybody's choice. I probably would have created it. Okay, I'll let it go. And I kept telling to myself, this shall too pass, this shall too pass, because I think in my childhood I'd listened to one of the stories where a king goes to a guru, and he says, give me something that when good times are going, I can see a chit and a message of yours, and when the bad times are going, I can see that message of yours. And the guru gives him the two things, and he goes, and when his good times were going on, he opened the chit and it said, this shall too pass. And he hated it. He just hated it. The king hated it. And as the days passed away, so the bad time came in, and he opened the chit, and it just said, "This shall too pass." And then that always was in my heart. So for me, everything is like passing, and everything will pass. These are just the experiences that we are living through. So, and you've come as you make a movie, you have all the elements. So that is life. So it has all the elements, good, bad, ugly, and nothing is ugly, nothing is good. Everything's just an experience for me. So I don't really feel anything bad about anything ever. Still, I'm like, it just is. So I guess that is what my whole journey has been. So that got me to. So one of my friend was here, and she was visiting my house, and I was partying, holidaying. I just left my work, and I was just chilling out at home. And I was into media for 12 years, and I left it, and I was just chilling, having fun. Then I thought I would like to, because I have a princess friend, queen, and I would ask her, why do you don't work? Don't you get bored? She's like, no, I just wake up like a princess and do this and blah blah blah. So one day I was sitting in my office, and I asked somebody, and then I realized, okay, why is everybody goes to earn? That is what I wanted to know. So then I realized that people want to have the holidays, want to keep family happy, they should want money so that they can buy everything. Then I realized that, so I have everything, then why am I working? Then I left the work one day. I was like, I'm not going to go to the shop. I'll just sit like a princess and queen. And then I started doing that. And I started enjoying cooking in the house, being the household work and blah, 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 and enjoying my time with my son. And while that was going, this girl came in and she wanted to, she said that she's learned something new. And I said, I am not going to follow anything. I'm no more done. I'm tasted past life. I've tasted all the different modalities. One sessions I used to go out of curiosity to know if they know what life is, because I just thought, if I'm part of that life, why is life so difficult? Then I don't have to sit down like this and do to get him, to get that moksha. Everybody talked about moksha, moksha. And I don't want to get moksha. Moksha. I love life. I want to be here. I don't want to go. I will come back here again. And people would say, will be happy when Panditji would say you will get moksha. I'm like, no, I don't tell me I want to have moksha. I don't want to have moksha. I want to be here. I love to have party. And that was who I was.
Breaking news. Everybody is teaching you how to get moksha. Aradhana is like how to unmoksha.
Unlock yourself. So I that is what it was. And then I was looking, and for me, life is party. So I love being on the earth. So I was just going through that journey, and then suddenly this girl comes and she's like, no, this is something I've learned is some type, your types. You don't have to make anybody guru. I said, I can't make anybody guru. I have Gunanaji as my friend. So I don't even know about him or what he used to do, not do. I only know about his stories. And I just want to become like him, silent, sweet, and smiling all the time and hand. So whenever I used to have my tough time, I would have, बड़े आसाम से हंस रहे हो, जब देखो हंसते रहते हो. I'll also one day do this.
What was that maybe person, thing, tool that actually helped you go through those tough times?
It was him. I had his picture in front of me, I used to say, oh, I didn't die. I'm still alive. If I get panic, and one tool was this shall to pass. The other was, I used to presume that something will happen, or I'll die. Like anything happens to my husband or something such as anything, I'll die. And then one day I find it like anything, he would go in the hospital and say, I didn't die. Shit, I'm alive. I said, okay, fine. Okay, this shall do pass. It was a myth that I can die. So that was a big aha moment in my world. Oh, I'm not dying. Okay, he'll die. I'll not die then. For me, I think I didn't want to die at all. I think that comes from my mother. I think for me, my mother is a big support and she's the biggest teacher. My mother and my husband have been the biggest teachers for me. So my mother always says, if you're breathing and you're intact, you can create life anywhere. And she created her life in a village where she hated it. But I think she's so busy in the world. She's more present than the president in the country or the prime minister in the country. So she's very happy. She never gets bored. So I used to think if she can live there where she didn't want to, I have all the comforts and I'm still unhappy. So that kept me going all the time. So I think that strength, I'm a lioness daughter. So that's why I'm a lioness and a tigress myself. I guess that. So
But you were happy all that while?
I think I always, the smile never went away, Sonali, somehow. I wonder, it was only, I think once it went away, but most of it, I've never seen the smile going off my face. And people were like, can you stop smiling? I'm like, but that is my inherent nature. Like, because my mantra is time has to pass. What if you pass that joyfully? My getting sad will not take it faster. It's like the red light you have written, relax. Just relax. Red light will take on its 10 seconds, 20 seconds of it to pass by. So meanwhile, if I'm thug, it's not gonna change. I'm not dying. So might as well have fun meanwhile. Maybe that might change something. So that has been like, even if my teacher would scold or my mama would scold, I will like, koi baat nahi, till the time they come, let me smile and laugh. Time to and for me that got easier to take that time out, because you like, even when I'm exercising in the gym and I don't like certain things, then I'll take my concentration to a boyfriend or a girlfriend or something which really makes me joyful, or sex, and then I'm like happy, and then meanwhile that exercise is done.
Because I know that this question pops up from somewhere, like I have heard this. So I would like to ask that when you are creating so much and you have so much of power, you have so much of, you are magic, then
I wonder, while talking to you, I'm acknowledging that, but thank you.
yeah.
Thank
So
you.
all these access tools and modalities, all these body process, did that also help? Do you think that could also change your husband's situation and all that?
Yeah,
And
that was a thing that always came to me, Sonali. Thanks for asking me that. Yes, that was a big thing that everybody said, that you've learned so much tools, you have learned so much things, and into such a modality. Why could you not change your husband? Why
yeah,
could you not live? And I remember when he passed away, first thing I was like, I'm not gonna. And I always believed in magic and miracles from my childhood. I used to read Chacha Chaudhary and Sabu, so I always thought one day the jinn will come. But when I saw that, I'm like, I'm not going to believe in magic and miracles anymore. These things don't work. And I remember he always used to say, what will your Gary or Dane teach you? I'll teach you life. Because he was very jealous of him, but he used to love them. And he knew, and he used to feel very happy when I used to go for classes, because it made me joyful, more joyful. So he would, if even if I think it, I'll give up, he'd say, no, 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 go, that makes you very happy. So he could see my joy in it. So he loved it, but he was jealous of them. So he would say, they won't teach, I'll teach you life. So I remember, and then he did, and he did a lot. So that question always came to me, that you could not. And I was also in that question. But the only thing, the beauty I love with, and I'm so grateful to Gary for saying that. I remember Gary had written in every book I got signed by him, choice. I think these two men in the life have really, really shifted my whole reality. I'm so grateful to Gary and Dr. Dane. So Gary always said choice, 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 and Dane had no judgment all the time. So Gary, and I didn't get what do you mean by choice, because that used to fry me. But that gave me whole allowance that he had a choice. My husband also had a choice. I can bring, water to the mouth of the horse, but it has to be drunk by him. So I can't make him drink the water, right? So it's like I could see that, and I think the beauty of my tools with him was the allowance of him, his choice that he wanted to go, and I had the allowance for him to go and not complain about it, and regard his choice and honor him for it. And I promised him that I'll never complain.
wow.
I don't complain. So I think had access not been there, I would have been very different. And these tools have really changed my life. And that's when I want everyone, and I love Gary's thing that he doesn't really care who has this tool or doesn't. His name is known or not, but these tools should reach to as many. And I would love, I myself own, because these are very simple, these are instant. Like if you want to change it, though your life, everything is you, but certain things just help you go through. So it that did help me, like, and I would always say, when you have somebody, enjoy them in totality, be with them, because you will never be happy wherever you are, where you're not. But if you make the most of it, like as I said, Sonali, earlier also, I was growing up as a child like that. I wanted to make the most of it, that even if I die, I don't miss it. So I have kind of sucked my husband to the level that I am not missing him. It's okay. He's gone. He wanted to go. Before he made me live the life. Probably he would have not. People don't even make you live in 100 years. So I'm so grateful. I'm like, he is with me. He's all, and thanks to Access and Shannon's tools of talk to entities, I sense him right now on the talk show too. So he's always there. He's not separate from me. He is me. And before he went away, he showed that I am him and he is me. So there's no separation, right? He was just an outer perspective of me. But then it's like, I enjoyed him totally. Even his illness, I enjoyed it totally. I was being with him. We spent time together, and we kind of, but he was an allowance of me, and and he taught me what allowance is. He always taught me, live your life, be selfish, be selfish, be selfish. And I would like, you selfish man. And he was like, be selfish. Who's asking you to not to be selfish? And he's like, this girl is not gonna get us selfish unless fucking I'm gonna leave her. So probably he wanted me to grow up from a little kid to grown up woman. So which I am now, I guess at times. But yeah, but he gifted me a lot, and he is there. So, and tools helped me a lot.
Radha, you are such an inspiration. As much as we can see and we know that how much you love him and how much he is always with you, and still being in allowance of him choosing to leave and not making it wrong, not complaining about it. That's that's required more in the world.
He always told me this is who I be. And he always said, I told you, Radna. And I'm like, what? I've been telling you all my years. I have to go. You have to live. I have to go. And I'm like, okay, I thought you were joking. But and it's so funny when we would fight, and my son would say, why don't you leave each other? Like, you fighting all the time. I said, why would I leave him? I love him and he loves me so much. He says, I don't see your love. Where did you learn all this love? I mean, I only see. I said, you can't see the love behind it. How we fight like a kids. And I remember every time I spoke to him on the phone, everybody used to think that I'm talking to my son. So that is how we used to, fight like kids. But we fought like kids. We lived like fun. And he was just amazing. I mean, I used to tell him, I wonder if I can find a man greater, but I will. I created him, so I can create another man in my life now. And I wanted to have a new boyfriend. He said, okay, I'd rather go. You go have a boyfriend now.
I remember you also had your birthday party, no? You also had your birthday party after he was gone, and
Yes. And he used to make sure that I have a birthday party every year. He used to invite the world to my birthday, and he used to be so overexcited. So he made sure, and I was very sure that I'm not going to do this birthday for sure. And how he created that, how my friend Anita ji and all, Shani and all, make, they said, just call me. They said, no, no, we're just having bar shop and Rohini and all. These guys just, this Access family, beautifully, they've surprised me with a lunch party. And then my sister, Reena, who also lost her husband a year, like 10 months. I mean, so kind of her, and I'm so blessed with people in my life. They just created a birthday and they said, no, that's not happening. Had he been here, you would have not been sitting like this. And I said, yeah, sure, let's go. And I was laughing. I said, shit, it was only like he passed on 24th and 18th. I had my birthday, right? And I think I did. I'm still enjoying. I don't feel like he's gone.
so now when Anand is gone or not gone,
He's a mystery.
you said I was saying he was gone, but you just said he is not gone. So whatever it is, are you open for another relationship now?
Of course. I come on. He went away for that, yeah. He said,
I'm open to both men and women. So we have more scope.
No, I'm happy with men. Sorry, as I very precisely told you that I love men more than women. Though that doesn't mean I don't like women.
Men contain ज़्यादा, okay, I got it.
Yeah, you got that right. I'm willing, but I'm not choosing in the sense I can for sure. I'm a naughty girl. I've always been a naughty girl. I would be, and as my mom says, this girl has really, really just, taken me here to there, and she's still always like, this girl can't stay away with guys. But I did for 22 years. I stayed with one man, and I'm still staying with him. Big deal for me. I have stayed with one man for 10. So I'm a good girl, but no more relationships. I don't want to hold another man for 22 years.
Only huh?
Huh? What did you ask?
I said then no relationships and only sex.
Only sex, yeah. Why should we not have sex?
How does it get any
How does it any better? No, fun. All fun, no pun intended. But it's just fun. I'm open to anything. I am never close myself to anything ever. And what else is possible beyond this?
So,
Life.
yeah, right. So when we got to know so much about your relationship, Anand, and you, I would like to talk about your relationship with your son now because I know that what a super cool mom you are, and what not have you talked to him. So yeah, I would like to have the world to know more about it.
So I love my son. Of course, we were trio. We loved each other so well, and I think I'm a friend to him also. And I mean, at times he had to tell me, "Mom, you're my mother, so I hope what you're talking to me is making sense to you, and you're not my girlfriend, and you're not someone." I said, "I don't care if I'm a girl. I'm your mother. If I won't talk about sex and things to you, who would talk to you?" But he's always been that nurturing space for me. He's always been very close to my heart, and he's like he is just I mean, I talk to him about my boyfriends. I'm talking to him on who the guys I'm chatting to. I would tell him who I like, who not like. I'm like, we three have no um, doors to each other, no barriers. And with him, I started smoking. With him, I started drinking. And when he was a kid, so he's a very, very kind being who actually I'm blessed who came to my life, me and Anand's life, and he was beautiful. He is still beautiful, and he's very, very intelligent. Very everybody who meets him is like such a well-cultured child. And how did you bring? I said I did not do anything. He came like that. He was already preconceived, and he knew all the mannerism by himself. I did not teach him, but yeah, I wonder what do I have to tell you about him, but he's just a beautiful being. I love him. I adore him, and he's 23 now. So what else is possible?
So when you are an access consciousness facilitator, does he also follow you, or does he also follow access, or
He quietly, silently does. He doesn't want to acknowledge that. And I think my husband and my son were the one who got the most of it. And because when I learned it, I wanted to give them the tools of it. And when I came home, I think my son was quite silent. He saw me and he saw me extraordinarily joyful. So he just went to do this course. He says, what the hell has she done? She's not getting manipulated and she's laughing to the hell. Like she used to always smile, but I was purely joyful, which I didn't notice. He noticed. And he went and did this course, like he did foundation, he did bars, he did twice. But every time he took a blanket and he slept and he came. And he used to finish the day and I've done the class and I've come. So he's done it twice. He's done body class, he's done stuff. And every time I know I get he gets it, what it means. And he says, I know all your tools. So don't give me your tools. Don't. So, but then when it's really required, then he gets to me and then he joins me on my Instas. He does listen. He would rebel. He's like me. I would rebel everything my mom would say, but I would eventually do what my mom said. And so he's being me. So now he does to me. He doesn't like, don't tell me this, mama. Not all the tools work all the time. It is not about the tools. It's about the practical life. But I know he does. So and he's doing pretty well for himself, and I'm sure he would do it. And he, the best part of it is Sonali. I think it was much beyond, and I'm grateful. Access brought me more into it, but also I always had this. I had always brought him up with the choice. I always gave him a choice for everything since he was born. I had talked to him about entities which I didn't know, but I would tell him that when he was growing up, see, if you're this who the rowdy kid is not my kid, can you please send him away and ask him to send my son to talk to me? This is how he used to talk when he was a little baby. And when he would cry, because he would manipulate, I would like, can you go into the room once you finish crying? Because mama cannot hear you out. So once you're done with your crying, can you come and talk out? And then he could manipulate me. So, and I always gave him choice. He says, why are you giving me? Why don't you decide? I said, because tomorrow you will get up and say that you did this to me. You did this to me. I'm not taking that on me. So I think I was pretty conscious all the time. I was always being aware, and so was he. So he's always been brought up as a total from the space of choice, possibilities, and he knows his way, and I'm sure he would. So I think conscious parents, conscious kids is how it works. As I was a facilitator for a bit for that too in Access, so I know what that means. It's like I always taught my kid from the space where what would how would I would have liked to be treated, not how I was treated. Though I was treated very beautifully with my parents. I have been had a very secured childhood. My parents were amazing, and they always gave us space and openness of whatever, choose what you want to choose. So I've always given him a choice, and he knows choices available, and every choice he's making is creating a future for him.
I'm sure that maybe it is not about the words, but you being that energy, it's such a huge invitation to him that he's all definitely that energy in himself.
Yeah, he is, but then he's not finding a girlfriend, Sonali. Please look for a girlfriend for him too, because he's made his mother a girlfriend because he kind of made me an epitome of like what a girlfriend should
But
be. And
you're
I,
having sex with him, no?
uh, so
Because you're having sex all the time.
yeah, and I'm like, can you pocket pod? Can you stop having sex with me? Can you go and have sex with somebody else? I mean, stop. I mean, we had enough of it now. Can you? You can still carry on with me and fine. But I think he has to destroy and uncreate all his relationships with me, which probably he also has a choice. So I destroy and uncreate that all the time with him. But I guess every mother is special to every child. I would say that, Sonali, coming from there, that every mother knows the best for the child. Never teach a mother what to do and how to bring a child. And every mother who's listening to this, you're never wrong. You know how to bring, and you are the only best who knows how to bring up your child. It's not about asking others, it's about you knowing what you know.
What do you know?
You know it. I always say you know it. That's my take on it.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And now, when you had your life with your husband, you have your beautiful relationship with your son, and now that you are creating Be the Change and you are now actually expanding to the whole world. So, would you like to talk about what Be the Change is inviting people to, and what would you like people to know more about it?
So Be the Change is, of course, my dream dream page. That because I always believed everybody knows something very special, and that was another habit of me asking every elder in my world. I would go sit with elders and ask it, okay, before you die, can you tell me your recipes and can you tell me what you know about life? What should we do and what should we not do? And they would look at me. We never thought that way. I think I always question everybody from my childhood. What do you know? And I still like, and I have, because I always saw in my world that I know something, but nobody's asking me what do I know. Then I was like, when will they ask me? If I will never get a chance to tell who I am, then why did I come here to learn just what everybody's telling me? And that's so boring for me. And that's when we get bored. So that's when the whole invitation of Be the Changes. And I always say, when you being the change, everything around you changes. And how the change starts is first step. And I always believe that if nobody will take that one step, how we, always say the government, always pinpoint fingers at the government or the other people, other, but are you taking that step? So for me, it's you the change. You know it. You know the best for everything. You don't have to. That is why I could never follow a guru. I could not follow. I was like, I'm my own guru, I'm my own master. And that is when the whole Be the Change page invites you to be your own master, your own guru. And as Access has empowered me, and for me, the Be the Change page energy is of inviting the world to their knowing. You know it, and what you know, come share with me. And this talk show, I remember I used to read a lot of Femina magazine when I was growing up, and I was get very I'm like, how did the girl know how to do a business? Because I always thought I can't do a business.
Yes, that.
That. So I
I
think that that's my balance to it. And I wanted, and then I got married to a business family, and I started doing business. And my husband would said to me one day, "You cannot do business."
and you have done MBA, right?
I'm an MBA of International Business Marketing from Hope School, Massachusetts, and it's like, and I was like, I didn't know what I studied. And my husband said, "Oh, you didn't study only. You were only having fun with me. So you didn't study." So I believed in that also. I was so naive. I would believe everything. And he would say, "You can't do job. You can't do a business because you will go and give money to the world, but you never are willing to take the money from the world." I said, "But yeah, they'll give me." No? They said, "No, you're always willing to give first. People who are not even asking for their payments, you go and give them. But you never ask them." I said, "Oh, so I can't do business. If I can't ask for money, then I can't do business." So I concluded in my world that I can't do the business. So I hated it. I did not know what business is until one day when I was doing the access classes, one of my facilitator, I was in a class, and I said, "I've done everything, but I've never earned money by myself." She says, "You mean people come to your classes and they don't pay you?" And I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Of course they pay you." So she said, "Is that not your business?" I said, "Is that business?" Because my husband was in a multi-millionaire business. Earning 50,000 every, which is like not even my one day's expense. It's like, and I'm like, that money didn't really make a difference to my work. She said, "But you earned it, right?" So I said, "Oh, this is called business. Then so I can do a lot of business." And this is business, but I thought business is income tax, CBI, all those, and how to manage, how do you have to turn the money upside down, and which bank to put, how to you get the income tax return fund. I didn't want to do. So for me, that was business. But now I say, when you are in life, you're in business. So Be the Change also is that invitation. So it invites that everything lies in you, but are you willing to actually see it? So when I started like popping up and things up, and so now Be the Change kind of created its own, it became its own entity. So it looks like my business, but it's a business of its own. For me, it's joy. So I created from a joy. It is like a lot of fun. And when I was reading these Femina magazines, and I would see people, I said, "How did she get idea of having this business?" I would say, Create a business and give me, I'll take care of it. But I can't do a business because for me it was a doing. It was not being. So, and then that talk show was, I was like, I would get one day interview people and invite them, people who had that courage to like never give up, never give in, never quit. What happened, what twisted in their world, that they did not die and did not think that, okay, no money is left, and then suddenly they became billionaires. How did that happen? I always wanted to know, so that one day I can do that. That was the motive behind it, so that I get the courage. But when I saw I created in my life, that courage really brought me, because I also went through that. I created that financial crunch for myself, which I have like from all money to zero money in my life. And I'm surviving from last 9 months, which is like funny. And like, I just be here, I talk joyfully, and I know money shows up from somewhere or other. My expenses are taken care of. I'm like, wow, how do I manage that? I wonder, how do I manage? And people still think I have loads of money. I'm like, yeah, I am walking, talking money, right? So, so it's not about money. So I just know, when you have that courage and that whole, um, as my mom said, that you're breathing, you can be in the world. So Be the Change invites those people who have that courage, and it gives you a possibility of never giving up. And anybody who's giving up, please come watch all the talk shows here, because these talk shows really invite you. Every time I'm interviewing anybody, my world opens up a different space. Then I'm like, oh, okay, that is another possibility which I never looked at. Because we think this is it, this is equal to this. But this shows the possibilities, that there is more possible if you just question it, and when you are willing to receive from the world. So I invite all the world people from anywhere in the world who just chose, and they were doing nothing and thought they were doing nothing, but everybody is a gift in its on their own self. So Be the Change just invites them, and I post that one simple question every morning, and to introspect yourself, to play with you. And I do a 11:11 talk Insta live every day to just talk my perspective on it, but I still ask people to choose their perspectives on it. So it's just a very simple page like me. So I'm like simple girl, but yeah, it just is an invitation to learn ABCD of this, of what you know. Rest, you know.
Totally. And Lynn, when you were talking all of this, Aradhana, I can really say that I have definitely heard these words before, a lot, many times. But every sentence and every word that you are talking, you're actually truly living it.
Yes.
And everything is coming from that space for real.
Yeah, I wanted to be real. I always said, "Now preach what you can practice and practice what you preach." It's like, I just didn't want to give it. So I went through everything for you guys to let you know. I'll blame you.
Stop paying and send me money for that.
Send me money for that. I went through all these hardships to see, is it really hard to, and still would you die, or you can still get up and go.
And what did you find? You didn't die.
Yeah, and I didn't die. I'm here talking to you guys here today. But thank you for
The
inviting me.
inspiration of you be for never give up, never give in, never quit, because you never did. And
Never.
no matter what happens, and it is not even I've seen people that okay, I'm fighting, I will not give up and everything, but there's no sense of joy in their world. They are still fighting it.
So
And you it
yeah.
was from the space of joy and with the space of ease and light.
Yeah, on that I would just say that I always had this Sonali, that that is from my childhood again. Never give up. My One of my mom's friends said, I was standing on my terrace, and she just said that, it's very easy to take the positive way, but the fun is when you take the other way around, which is so difficult. And I said, okay, I'll take that. I will never give up, and I'll see how going on which is a difficult path. I'll take it, and I will prove it. And now today here I am unchoosing it, and I've done that, been that, taken the challenge. Now I would invite the fortune into my life and be a different possibility.
How does it get any better than that? And what else is possible? And our time is over. And I would like to end this show with your one line, whatever your message to our viewers. You have given so many of messages, but something like one line that you would like to say.
I would just say trust you, and trust universe always has your back. If you trust you, universe always has your back. Never give up, never give in, never quit.
Wow, how does it get any better than that? And what else is possible? So never give up, never give in, never quit is what we have learned today.
Just
And,
trust. Just
and
trust.
trust you,
Trust
trust.
whatever comes to you. Just trust it. It might sound. It just might sound. It's all dying. It's all pain. Trust. You will not die. This. You know something special. That's it.
Thank you, thank
I'm
you.
really proud that I was on this show. I'm really proud that I was on this show, that I could be a celebrity.
So much. Thank you. We all are truly grateful, and I know that I'm talking on behalf of so many thousands or thousands of people. Thank you for being that invitation to never give up, never give in, never quit. Thank you for asking us to what do we know, and thank you for having that smile on your face always, because that invites to so many more smiles in the world. And next week, we will again come on this talk show with another guest and with Aradhana. And we will see you soon. Till then, never give up, never give in, never quit.
Thank you. Thank you, Sonali. Thank you, my team.